rolling now. Yeah,
All right.
this is gonna be eventful.
It's all good.
But you can still
So
introduce your partner.
Yes, you can still introduce your friend, the partner
yeah,
there.
so this is Darren. We call him Yogi though. You know, that's his
I
name.
Yogi, nice
He
to
like
meet
the
you.
head contractor of everything. He do everything except trusses and like ground up plumbing work. So he can do everything, literally. You know. And
That's
I
great.
just found this out. And he my cousin. So ain't that crazy? I had no
Ah,
idea he can do all of this stuff
fantastic.
until recently. And I would have had a ton of stuff for him. So now he's trying to figure out how much we can do when we building out more crews and all of this stuff. You know. So it's gonna be awesome what we got planned
Oh
going forward.
yeah.
That's great.
I'll be releasing a lot of it for the North Carolina people for sure.
What a blessing you're going to be, Yogi. My goodness.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
we're glad we caught you in action as an
Yes.
entrepreneur at Home Depot, taking care of your latest
I love
deal.
it.
But we'll
Ain't that
we'll
crazy?
pause it here, and then we'll come back when
Yeah.
you get ready to
Yes.
for the interview.
I'll be
Okay,
yes. I'll be right in like probably like 20 minutes. I'll be there.
just
I'll be in my
just
office.
shoot us a text
Okay.
or give us a call, and we'll be
Yeah.
ready to go.
I
All
will.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Sounds good.
right, we'll
All right.
see.
Thanks,
We'll
Chad.
see you in just a minute.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye
Bye,
Bye.
Yogi.
bye. All right. She said bye. All right.
All right. Okay, we're back here with Chad Glover, and he is back in his office, back from Home Depot. How did it go over there at Home Depot, Chad? Did you find what you were looking for?
Oh man, it was awesome. We did actually more than I was looking for. He really, like I stated in there, he is really on top of a ton of stuff. I just hate. Well, I don't hate. Let me take that back. I understand there's a time and place for everything. So
Yeah.
I met him at the right time through all the headaches with other people, and it's literally a real blessing. Like super.
Oh.
He
That's great.
take care of everything. But he
Yeah.
pointed out and pulled out some new stuff he wanted to try, materials, granted, like different stuff, and it was blew my mind from what he did. Like literally.
Great. Well, praise God, you got a good
Yeah.
man working on your team right now.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now, what are these
Yes.
projects? You said this is a new project that you're working on, that you were getting some resources there at Home Depot.
Yeah, so I have like 4 going on. It's one in different parts of North Carolina.
Okay.
So I just closed on the other one, and then there's other one where I've been had, but he did a full gut. Then there's another one in another part of the city, Goldsboro. I can name the cities if you like. So it's Goldsboro,
Yeah.
Waysboro. Then they're both Statesville, and then the other one is Hartsville, South Carolina. So it's 4 going in at once, and we getting the key are he'll be the one managing all the crews and doing all the things. Because once again, it's about personal growth. Like when you get to the point of like you're a business person in it, and you're just not, at the hustling. Because I'm still hustling. I love the help. So I'm always be the one talking to sellers. Like I can't see myself not doing it until I don't know, but I'm gonna be somewhere in it. And but the most part, you want to free up time in order to fill it back in, right? So when I fill it back in, I've added on another component. That's how it goes. So by me delegating all this stuff to him now, he taking phone calls I will no longer take. And now the operator, she doing stuff that I will no longer take. She can just do it. Now I focus on infrastructure and building out more businesses. And that's what I like to do. I'm a visionary. I love integrating too in terms of like computer. I got a mind for like apps and just thing problem solving. That's basically what an integrator is. And so I got a little bit of both. I'm a visionary integrator, but more of a visionary. I can like see stuff like literally. It's like free the level of discernment that I think that's the gift. One of the gifts I've been given is the level of discernment. Yeah.
That's great. So
Oh,
you're at the
yeah.
point in your business right now where you're starting to build that team and expand by, multiplying yourself with other people who are taking over tasks for you. How did you get started though in the first place? Like
I'd love to
what
know
was
that.
what was your
I'd
starting
like to
point,
know your
Chad?
backstory, Chad.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as a kid, like my grandmother had 12 kids, and my mom was the second oldest. So she had me when she was young. Her and my dad had married. She was 18. He was
Oh,
19.
wow.
They were married. Yeah. So they had myself and my little sister. So it's just the 2 of us. So coming up, we didn't have wasn't a lot of resources. My grandmother basically took care of everybody, right? I watched her work for mayors, the doctors, like she was basically took care of everybody, the whole family essentially. right?
Yeah.
The household and everything. Like literally, that's how it was. So
Wow.
she always took care of us. She brought like the food. She like housed us, you know. And so we didn't have resources. Just how it was. We didn't have a lot. So coming up as a kid, I always dreamed big. Now I just have a formula, and I get to that formula in a second. But as a kid, I always had a vivid imagination. I wanted more. I wanted houses. I wanted my own room. I wanted those things. And then my mom eventually got it through housing. Like she was on what was it, Section 8? I think that's what it's called. Yeah. I think that's what it's called. I'm pretty sure that's what it's
I
called.
think so. Yeah.
So she got housing. So now we had a house. So that was my first form of like, oh shoot, we got a house through the thing. And I was cool with it. So I know even though we didn't have a lot of stuff, it was just like a ton of love. And so you don't feel the lot. I just knew we didn't have no clothes. I didn't have all the other stuff, but I wasn't like sad or down. I was never that type of person. I've always been grateful, you know?
Yeah.
So I just had a vision like I'm gonna have real estate. I know this is what it is. I know this is where wealth coming from because I'm a very observant person. So I understand like these people doing these things is getting money through real estate. So this gotta be the key, right?
Yeah.
But I never had no one to teach me. And just fast forward up to like 2019, right before the pandemic, 2020.
Yeah.
It was a Breakfast Club interview. And I was like I had it on and I was walking past my computer. And the guy said, he was just talking. He said, those signs you see in the neighborhood say we buy houses. And I froze. Like, oh shit. I remember this because I used to look at the sign like, who buying these houses? And I used to be
Yeah, that's great.
Because now I'm an adult. Like I'm like a teenager now. I'm like out of high school. I'm like going up through the whole thing. So I'm still going to get in there, but I never understood how to get in. I knew you needed a lot of money. I said, I don't have a lot of money to buy these houses, not knowing what I know now. So I heard him say, and I froze. And he said, yeah, you can get, those are wholesalers. I said, oh, okay. I understand wholesaler. I understand just the concept of the name. And then he says, so you go get a seller, you get them under contract, get a piece. He made it super simple. You take that piece of paper to the attorney. Now you go get an end buyer, mark it up 10,000, and take that to the title. And now you get a $10,000 check when it's done. I said, oh, that's it. That's all I needed to hear. And I was that was it.
Wholesaling 101 right there.
Yeah.
Wholesaling 101, right?
I didn't have no training. So now I jumped. He had a webinar that he broke down over 6 weeks, right? It was just one webinar he had, but he sold it as a course for 6 weeks. And I went through it. And I just was taking action. And then the pandemic came. So now I'm like, how in the world am I going to knock on the house? Right?
Yeah.
How am I going to do that? And it was a guy, Mark Whitten was the one that showed me that. I always got to credit him, like 100 to this journey. And then was a guy that I got in and he showed me DocuSign, named Tony the Closer. He had a thing where he learned about like virtual wholesaling. Because I like, oh, this is it. So now I can get back into it, and I learned about DocuSign. That one software changed the game.
Yeah.
So the first deal was in Memphis, and it's still up on there. I never take it down. It pops up randomly, and on the post, if we could share, I can possibly tell y'all. They can just look it up. Memphis Real Estate. You'll see my name, Chad Glover. Hot deal, something crazy. Cell phone and everything. My real cell phone is still up there, so you know I don't know what I'm doing. I had it locked up wrong because I didn't wait to learn everything. I just learned something and I believe it. Like I have a strong belief. So once I believe it in that it'll work, I do it. So I just was doing it and I locked the deal up. But I locked it up too high because of the repair costs. And in the comments, you'll see them like really clowning me. So they laugh because I know. I ended up making $1,000, and I say, "This is it."
Wow!
Yeah, that's great. Well, so how did you get into? How'd you find PACE and get into the whole Sub2 community? Because you're a Sub2 member now. So how did that happen?
The pandemic.
All that because of the pandemic.
It's so crazy. Like what the pandemic done. I'm a type to take. That's why that's where this thing was born from. We here now. I mean, opportunity. What's in front of you? Look forward, keep pressing forward, and you the resources there. So I don't ever worry about like stuff, you know. So when the pandemic hit, Max Maxwell, I'm like naming key players.
Max Maxwell's awesome.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah. And so he released his thing, We Live, for free because of the pandemic. And didn't nobody know what was going on, nobody resources, so he released it for free. And Pace was on there, and he came out twice. One he had on flip flops, right, and the other one he had on just all black, right.
Okay.
But he answered. He was on a marketing panel, not even like the creative stuff. He was on a marketing panel,
Yeah.
and he answered. And I never forget it because I'm observing. I'm looking at everybody up there, and who upselling, like who is just really not trying to hold back. So the ladies to the right of him answered the question, but he leaned up like this and was waiting for him to finish, then sat back because they wasn't giving enough. So when he did it, I just thought, I was like staring at him like, what you about to do? And the answer he gave was like, you know how Pace is. He like gave like everything. I said, oh, that's the one. Yeah. That's the one to follow right there. And that's exactly how it happened. So I didn't know, he didn't have Subto yet. So fast forward, he did a 16-hour live. And on that 16-hour live, I was up the entire time with him all through the night. And I said, and that's when I learned he had created Subto. And I joined. That night I joined. Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
What an amazing story.
That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. Well, you know, thanks for kind of giving us your backstory now. Fast forward to where you're at now. You know, what's your business look like now? And you started off with just one deal, and now you've got other people on your team. And what's that look like now?
Yeah, so it's everything, man. I believe in vertical integration. So once I know I needed VAs, I found someone in the Philippines that I was like, we was cool, we was friends, and we started sourcing. I was just training them myself, and then people wanted some, so I started hiring them out as well. And then so that created a Pro Virtual, which is a virtual assistant. But it got so big that it turned into a relationship and not a business. So people would just call me, and I didn't even have a website. I still don't. I got somebody create my website right now, and I'm gonna revamp it. And now, but I have lead managers that's basically independent, because when you think of Americans like us, right, talking about us, we are the ones that want to have our own business. They're not going to stay with you the entire time. So, but the benefit is that they sharper than just training a virtual assistant, right? They just know the language, etc. So I still utilize that and just pay a commission out. And then I have a dispo side, like I'm building it out kind of like a Keegly. If that they're gonna be really, really dope. Like talking to Jamil about stuff, listening to him about stuff too. So it'll be kind of like that. And I have a TC, of course, and they are building out a TC company because it's a lot of stuff, as well as my goal is to impact. Like my purpose, I know without a shadow of a doubt, is to impact, to leave an impact and an impression on people to change their situations, whatever that may be. Happening to what they want to do, not what I want them to do. So I know that's my purpose, 100%. So that means that anybody I come in contact to, I'm trying to enrich them. So from ownership and not just doing stuff for myself. So now it's the virtual assistants, the TC, the dispo side, and now it's the construction company that's being built out now. That's what this guy doing. That he have tons of products and other things lined up for other people. So we creating that. And I talked to another guy that has a dumpster service. So I'm talking to him about getting in with him. Either he said his owner has a ton of cash, like multi. So you don't need so I'm trying to see if I can bring
what is that again? I have to learn that.
He got like 3 times multi. I'm just a multi. He's multi. He's multi. So that's what So
well, I want to say initially when I met you, Chad, you know, at Pace's 10K celebration, I could already tell that you are just a caring individual who does care, because as you and I got to know each other just a little bit through the texting back and forth, and I was sharing with you, you know, we are just starting this journey, right? You know, and you know, when I shared with you, I just want my husband to be home. Like I want him to have freedom of time, and what he does as a teacher, you know, he does the same. He gives and he gives and he gives to those kids and the families, you know, that he's a part of. And that's a blessing, you know, because he can shine the light in that dark world that they live in. but you know, it's was just so the way you responded to me and just said, you know, oh wow, like you could see, like you said, I'm a visionary, and like you could see at that point, like you just said, this is the purpose of why we met, right? This is the purpose, is you're already helping us. Doing this alone is just bringing us huge value, right? And we're just grateful for that, because we know that you are going to change our lives, and that you already have in just this, you know, meeting with us now, and you will be a part of our story moving forward. So,
and you are definitely multiplying your life and your impact,
Yes.
Chad, because as you said, as you have these other aspects of the business that you're growing out, and like Pace says, every house that gets sold, like that creates, what did you say? I think 54 jobs or something like that, he said. And so just think of that, like with the teams you're creating, how many more homes you can create, how many more jobs you're creating.
Yes.
You are already having a huge impact.
That's
we can
great.
see that, and we appreciate you. I did want to ask you one more question, and because this is Gator Spotlight. Now, you're not a Gator, but you told us you are working with Gators, right, to help you with your deal. So tell us, as the wholesaler, business owner, business investor, you know, real estate investor, what's your perspective on Gator? How have they helped you? How has your interaction been with them? And what would you say to the Gators out there, you know, in terms of that are getting started like us?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even like, you know, a little bit of that, how that deal went for you.
Like, or whatever. Yeah, share
whatever you want to share.
Whatever you can share.
Yeah. So it's so funny, like with Gator, like, cause I've been with Pace for a long time. Like we at this point, like friends, we like really cool. So I was out in Arizona, I think it was 21, when he first picked me up from the airport. One of the first times they ever picked me up. And we just riding around. The story, blew me away. Like when I got in the car, he had a deal for $1 million. He needed a $1 million entry, right? So now that's the first of the day now. So here we go at the end of the day. He said, I got one more Zoom. So I've been with him the whole day. They got one more Zoom. Now on this Zoom, he had 2 investors from Texas. These 2 investors said they wanted to lend $1 million, right? So now he got a deal for $1 million in the morning, and here it is at night. He got the $1 million, essentially, right? This is the kicker though. So as he going through the steps of different types of lenders, he's 5 steps, right? So I was explaining to her, and I heard all of this stuff. Now when Gator come out, when he said what Gator was, I just laughed. I like nobody could see him because I was on the front of the computer, but I was just laughing like, man, this man is a marketing genius, man.
Yes.
Because the Gator is the part of the one that wants the chunk of the money that he was describing to the people on the screen. You feel what I'm saying? So I never got into Gator. I said, I don't want to do Gator, and I'm never going to allow you to give me Gator because I don't need an EMD. I don't need it, right? So I never use Gators. I use still long-term proper money lender still. But how I'm using Gators now is that I see the benefit for one, and 2, the way that others can get in deals and learn deals just from Gator. So you are jumping the learning curve. You know, I can get into a whole scientific part of that, but not right now. But you literally jumping the learning curve just from that. So what I've done is a lot of people that reaches out to me, they want to lend, like a lot of people. So, and some of them are Gators still. So what I'm doing for them is just putting them together. Say, hey, I'll market stuff for you all. And this is something that you all can do, Tim and myself as well. Like you all can get with other Gators and just create. And this is a legit business. Create a LLC, right? Operating agreement with whoever's a part of it. And y'all now market you all as lenders and Gators. Right? So if people want 100,000, y'all got 50, the person got 50 or whatever. You pool it. Now you are getting more than just your own Gator. You have an unlimited supply of money. Make sense? So So that's what I've created. I'm creating for them, like, hey, instead of doing all this stuff for me, what I can do is just get your money and give it to more people, but the appropriate way, because we don't want horror stories, right? We want to make sure, we want to, the thing that just ain't vetting the deals properly. That's what's happening
Right.
So you got to understand the deal. And that's why I told him I could help them at. It's like, I'm going to get you more money, getting more deals. Why you want to lend to me? And I can get you a part of deals, build up, whatever you want. I just listen to people what they want and try to provide it. So that's one thing that I'm doing with them, is taking it and say, if they want, just market, say if someone normally get 12% or 10%, right? You can charge 12% and still play your lender 10%. They just want 10. So now you created a 2% off for your business. You know, that's how you essentially create a business. Now you're just figuring out how to scale it and how to market it more. That's where it comes from. The scalability, tracking the key performance indicators, all of that is the same principles in business. So that's what I'm building out. So eventually I will become the bank. You know, one of the top things that you want to do in this business, if you want to, is become the bank. You know, that's like the top right there. And that's what Gator and lending can push you to. You can become the bank, or where you just fund. You don't worry about deals, nothing. You just get money like that, create notes, and all of those things.
That's great. Well, I love how you said, you know, you don't necessarily need the money, but you see this as a vehicle to help people to excel forward, right? Because like you said, they don't necessarily know how to vet the deals. They don't necessarily know all the working pieces, but if they can partner in that way, it gives them an opportunity to see everything that investor's doing, everything that wholesaler's doing. They can learn the business kind of from a side partnership situation. And then that just helps them to grow, you know, in all their skills. And then they can, you know, move forward from there. So appreciate that you're always giving, willing to do that.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So it's, I know. We're already experiencing that, because I am a wholesaler right now myself. And so with one of our deals, we were able to go ahead and provide the EMD for it. And it's just great. Yeah. It's just a great option to have.
Good learning experience for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
You pick up buyers, you'll pick up different marketing channels. Like you reviewing a deal and understanding the deal firsthand. You know, like, okay, I can see if this comes across my desk, this is how I can do it too. You know, that's one of the benefits of being a transactional coordinator. You're seeing buyers as well as lenders and deals. So you see all of these parts, you know.
Yes.
A lot of people just throw the money and don't really look at the parts. It's important to learn it, you know. And let me just back up. It's just about what you want to do. You know what I mean? It's truly comes down. I never tell people to do what I do. Like my goals are big because of what I want, what I'm doing, you know, and what I am going to do. I never act like I don't have the thing of my goals. I have them already, you know.
Yes.
And I think as if I got them already and move like that. So when I'm telling people what I'm doing, like, don't think about all that. Like what you want to do, and I meet them there. Like, you want to have a wholesaling business? Perfect. Look at Keeley. That's a wholesale business. And they make millions of dollars a year. So just do that. You know, you don't have to do all of this, but it got to tie into your purpose. If you're not tied into that, it don't matter what you do. You're not going to feel satisfied. You're not going to be just won't fit. You know. So if you got a job that's attached to your purpose, perfect. That's where you like to be at. You can have this on the side to help as an additional layer of impact to fuel your purpose of what you do already. You don't have to just leave. I never tell nobody to do that, you know. And if you are leaving, take the credit with you before you leave, because you can't get it as an entrepreneur. You know, try to take all the credit you can, then exit. So leverage, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with W. I never heard somebody say W-2 was bad. People talk about it like it's a bad thing. It be freaking me out. Like, what you mean? Like, that's a great job. Like, that makes no sense to me, you know? So
I think it does tie to our bigger purpose, because we both, you know, we have served at our church, and we have been around the world prior to meeting, in different parts of the world serving. And I know that that's really our bigger goal is, you know, the wholesaling will get us just the capital that we're looking for up front. You know, while I do that, and he's still, you know, working and teaching, which is a really very honorable job. Like you said, it's a very honorable job to work and shape the lives of young minds, right? But I do know our purpose is to be able to give back in so many different ways like we have in the past, but to have the freedom of time and financial freedom to be able to give more. And that's really our goal.
I think just being able to, like you said earlier, I think very similar. We want to have an impact. We want to have an impact on the world. And leave something behind that's going to be a positive impact. So
definitely.
Chad, thank you so much. First of all, you know, Pace always says, ask, you know, what do you have? What do you need? We already heard what you have. You have a lot going on. Is there anything you need right now?
I'm always looking for needing. That's a true word that I wouldn't even say want. I need at this point. Always those who can close and those who can lead, manage, and just want to be a part of a team too. How far you want to go, I can take you there. That's how I look at it. And I'm always looking for more private money, like 100%, because I have bigger stuff, and you can never not have enough of that, you know. Right. You know, that's my biggest thing is just always get more private money. But in business wise, just people that's loyal and trustworthy. I think that's the key words to anything. And I don't care about the other stuff. As long as I can trust you and you just want to ride with me, then we can go wherever you want to go.
There you go.
Well, there you have it.
We love that.
Up and coming leaders out there that want to hook their wagon up to a thoroughbred right here. We got Chad Glover. He's moving and shaking, and he's taking people with him. So
absolutely.
Appreciate you so much. How can people get a hold of you, Chad, if they want to reach out to you? What's a good way to get a hold of you?
My Instagram, Chad Glover _ Definitely. Awesome. Perfect. Yep.
Okay, so Instagram at Chad Glover _
I answer them personally. I answer my DMs personally. So please reach out to me. I'm sure you all do the same thing. Is that the way that you all get?
Actually, that's what we have. If people want to get a hold of us, and if you have a story you want to share on Gator Spotlight, you can reach out to us. Instagram is Gator to Close, and we're hoping to do a lot more of these great interviews and meeting wonderful people like you who are making things happen. So
absolutely, man, this is so fun. I appreciate y'all inviting me on. I don't take nothing for granted. Trust me.
Well,
it was a blessing to talk with you more, Chad, and to see you again.
Anytime.
Thank you so much, and blessings to you and your family too. And we'll keep in touch.
Yep, we'll stay in touch for sure.
Yes.
Okay, absolutely. I want you to. I appreciate it. Love meeting you.
Again. Thanks for your time, and you have a great rest of your night.
Okay, y'all too. Later.
All right. Take care. Bye. That's it for Gator Spotlight. See you next time.